So I brought some more wood out of the barn. Oak. We still have our beams over there we're working to cut down and use on the project. We use them, of course, to make the axles. The axles are complete. I still need to drill the pins. I've got hand-forged washers to go around the hub there, and I'll hand-forge the wedges that go in the holes that hold the wheel on. But I'm real tickled with the way they came out. So that's the first time I've turned white oak. And of course, like I said earlier in some of the shorts, it's an older handmade lathe Uncle Joe made some years ago. Great Uncle Joe, and of course he's passed. But it did the job. So that saved me from having to purchase a lathe. So it's time now to do what I call the cheek pieces, the sides. We'll do those in multiple steps and then through bolt them through the axle to hold everything together. So it's time to start cutting some oak. Okay, so let me bring you up to speed. Still working. It's getting closer. Detailed video to come. And we've tarred our bottom. It's real tar, asphalt tar, but it's been thinned down with mineral spirits. And it really came out nice. It wasn't leaking. It was weeping a little bit up here in this seam. But I got tar way back in there, and I'll probably go back over it a couple more times, pack tar in it. The cool thing about the tar is, even though it's hard to the touch, if you push hard with your fingernail, you still can get it to dent a little bit or leave a fingernail mark. So as my wood expands, it should really seal it off nice. So we did a little spot here to test it for walnut stain. Yeah, we're going to stain it dark walnut, make her look a little more ominous. So that being said, let me get to work. Oh, I do want to point out, I did a walnut plug here to repair some damage that a bow hook had caused. I had a big chunk taken out of the bow here, so we did a walnut inlay. It came out pretty nice, and that's someone else's fix. I should have probably dug that out. That looks like epoxy. But for the time being, we'll kind of let it go. Maybe something to fix later on. Worthless. Not much help at all. Anyway, this needs protected, so we're going to protect it. I'm going to put a piece of copper strip here because I can't find brass. So I'd love to have used a brass strip, but it's going to have to be copper. So let's go pound on some copper. It's just 1/4 inch coil copper water line. I guess like you'd run to your dishwasher. You can buy it in the rolls at a home improvement store, so it's pretty easy to come by. We're just hitting the inside of the contours here, which will straighten it back out, because when you flatten it, it definitely puts it in an arc, in a curve. Using the anvil straight edge there, or the edge of the anvil, which is straight, to give me some reference. So pull it in this way a little bit. I can feel it pulling to one side or the other, depending on which side I hit. So I think we've got it pretty much. I got a little bit of a bend there, and no lack of that. So let's see if we can straighten that. Excellent. Yeah, that worked pretty good. A little bit here on the end. Back on the inside to straighten it out overall. I think we're good. Let's fit it to the boat. And I'll straighten it out a little bit as I install it. So make sure it don't hit one of those modern looking screws. Okay, and we'll put it on with bronze boat nails, and hoping it should hold. Okay, so I'll put the camera down to do that. See if it works. Don't get too close to it. Thunderstorm. Can't keep the electric on. This is crazy. It's not that hard of a thunderstorm either. Wow. Okay, doing good. Just got to cut this a little closer because these are tapered. So, taper this block just a hair. Should give me my taper that I need. Man, it really grabs that white oak though. red oak, actually. There, tapered. So I'm using the thickness to match the cheek piece here, the same thickness. That way when I taper it, the block, since it's the same thickness, it gives me the taper I need. Now to get it straight again, I'll just line it back up the same thickness as the cheek. So, yeah, clear as mud, right? Time to sit down and think. So we made good progress last night, despite the thunderstorms and the puppies that are driving me nuts. Puppies everywhere. See, there's Larry. She's sweet. The boys named her Larry. There's Bear. There's Soldier. There is Larry's brother. They haven't come up with a name for him yet. Anyway, okay, so the cannon. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. We'll take the cheek pieces now and cut the arc that I see on the other cannons, just mimicking what I see on some of the other repos. And then we'll probably round this top piece too, so it looks a little more ornate. Yeah, I'm happy with the way it turned out. What's going to be fun now is drilling the bolts through to secure the axles. Remember, yesterday we did a short on notching the axle, with the openings there. Thank you, Bear. So that the axles are actually in place. They won't move, but of course they still have to be bolted. So we'll use the traditional square nuts. We'll make those look like they're supposed to, and all thread. So some forging is on the way. Okay, let's work on the sides. Decisions, huh? That's too much. There's really no way to do it decoratively either. I don't know. I don't even know what purpose it serves. It just seems like every period drawing I see has that archway cut out. I'm sitting in front of the camera, I'm sure. So let me think about it for a while. I think I've got more time thinking in this cannon than I actually do the building. Maybe just a shallow arch. Okay, I think I've got it figured out. So I think uniformity is the name of the game here. So hiding behind the machine, I'm just simply tracing the outline on the second cheek piece. Okay, that's done. This is the top piece on the cheek. Now, I haven't glued it yet because I want to round it a little bit to give it some detail. Hopefully this will work. With any luck. I like it. In fact, I think I'll leave it alone. I can match it with the other one. Yeah, I do like it. So the curve at the bottom doesn't seem so uniform. We're giving it some lifts, ups and downs, if that makes sense, rather than just cut out a semicircle. And then the rounded top, I like it. I don't like the sharpness of the front. Most of the period images I see, they're pretty sharp. But we'll see. I need to, if I do something to it, I need to make sure I still have room to mount the all thread all the way through, because we'll have to bolt this. The shock load on the front of this might be a little severe, so. Okay, I'll cut the other cheek piece and think about the front. Hey, we finished the glue up. Both of them are done. So it's on the carriage, and yeah, they glued up really nice. So we'll clean them up with a hand plane and make them look a little more presentable. Next is to go ahead and drill the holes for the trunnions for the barrel. I don't want to attach these until that's drilled. I think it'll be less of a fight. So let's lay that out and do that next. Dog pile. Phoenix has been out here playing with them, and they are wiped out. They are sound asleep. I hope. If not, they're dead. I don't know what I'm going to do with 4 dogs. Anyway, okay, the cannon. I just drilled that all the way through. With that drill bit. Straight. I couldn't believe it actually went through straight. Yeah, I checked the bottom of it where the all thread comes out, and it was right in the center of the axle. So I'm hoping I can do that 4 more times. Honestly, was amazed I did it that time. So I'll film the next one. That's probably the one I'll mess up on. But anyway, yeah, so 5/8 all thread all the way through, which connects the axle to the bottom of the cheek piece. Remember, these two are glued together, but they're not attached to the cheek piece. Because I was going to drill this out with a Forstner bit, but no. For one thing, it's 2.5 wide, and 2 1/4 is the largest bit I can find locally. So I practiced tonight over here on the drill press, or excuse me, on the bandsaw table, with a router bit, and I was really happy with the way that came out. So I think we're just going to use a router bit there. But I'll pick up a little bit larger one tomorrow. That's 1 inch. I'd like to at least be able to do 1.5 inches and then flip it over and get 1.5 inches on the other side. Because, yeah, that might be a little tough. But anyway, that's kind of the lay of the land. So I'll scribe a line to connect the two and hopefully get it right. We'll see. I'll practice on a couple more pieces before I destroy my cheek pieces over here. So it's come along great. We did get some more work done on the boat. I'll detail that in the video here later. We're making oar locks, but like I said, we'll detail that later. So the cannon and the boat project are going on pretty smoothly. So, and if I get rid of some more puppies, those puppies, I'd have more room. Okay, but the garage is getting cleaner. See? Kinda. Well, better than it was. So at least it's not as dangerous. All right, so I'll keep you posted. The cannon project's come along swimmingly well.